All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening on World Mental Health Day. And it's such an amazing date today. It is 10/10/2020. Yeah, it's 10th of October 2020, a unique day as well. Yeah. All right, great. So here I am. I hope all of you know me. My name is Astha Diwan. I am a life coach and a counselor, and I am live with you today to talk about mental health. And what a day to talk about mental health, which is World Mental Health Awareness Day. Yeah, so this is where here I am, and I'm going to answer each of your question about mental health today. And this is absolutely the reason that I decided to come live today on this amazing platform, Wandering Minds. There's so much work, there's so much stuff that this community is doing. Hi Neetu, and of course who is the pillar behind that. And today is where I want to talk to you about every question that you have in mind about mental health, because we've been hearing this so much. There's so much talk about what is mental health, how can we take care of our mental health. There's so much of discussion over mental health, and I thought that it is very important that we talk about it freely. I answer the questions that you have. It is no longer a discussion that is not done openly. Yeah, so that is why let us ask questions, seek our answers, and that is all that I am here for. But yes, before that, I would like to share with you also that what is mental health, what are the parameters that can actually tell us that are we mentally healthy or not, and how to actually attain mental health. I think these are the three questions that I would start with, and these are very important questions as per me. Yeah, as for me, each and everyone should know the answer to these questions to understand mental health. I'm just quickly gonna say hi to some of the people who have joined us. Hi Alka, hi Deepa, thanks for joining in. And would just like to quickly tell you that as any live, it is we want more and more people to come and attend the live. So please share it on your wall. Please also tag your friends, because that is one way for them to have this interaction. It is going to be very, very fruitful and very, very interesting, that we are going to be discussing today. Yeah, so let me get started without any further ado. And of course Neetu is here to really help us tag as many people. So let me start with what is mental health. Yeah, so like we say that in physical health there are parameters like blood pressure, diabetes, your liver function, and all of those. These are the parameters we look at physical health. So for mental health, we look at again some parameters. The first parameter is stress. What is your stress level? Are you able to handle your stress, or your stress is creating physical issues with you? So that is the first. The second is anxiety. Are you getting anxious on small things, the things that that I should not get anxious about, but is anxiety getting generated for small things? Yeah, so that is the second parameter. The third parameter is your social interaction. Are you not feeling like talking to people? Do you feel like that I should, people will judge me, I should not talk to them, and you want to be alone, you feeling lonely? This is the third parameter, which is also very, very important, and don't ignore it. And the fourth parameter is that are you do you become very sad and start crying very early, so on a drop of a hat, or with something very small that happens, and you start crying, so you're feeling sad lately and you're not feeling happy lately. So that is the fourth parameter. And the fifth parameter, which is very important, is that are you not able to sleep well? So if you're not able to sleep well and you keep thinking, there are thoughts that keep coming you and that they keep you awake, that is the fifth parameter. And I think all the other things that are small things can be included into these 5 parameters, but these are the 5 major parameters that I have talked about. The first one was stress. If you know that your personal or professional life, or there is some issue that is happening and you are stressed because of that, that's first. The second is anxiety. You know that there's small things, you're not you should not get angry because of that, or you should not become irritable because of that. You should not get anxiety, but you are getting anxious because of that. So that is second. The third is, if you are socially detaching yourself, you don't feel like talking to people, you feeling alone, lonely, and that is the third parameter. The fourth is parameter is that if you are getting into crying and feeling very sad about something, you're not happy about the way your life is going, that's the fourth. And the fifth parameter that I said is that you are what was the fifth parameter? I just forgot. So fifth, okay, can somebody remind me? I just missed that. So these are the 5 parameters that I talked about. I'll get the fifth one also very very soon. Okay, hey, say hi. Okay, so we have Sonam, we have Mohit who are watching us, and thanks for being here. So as I was just explaining that what is mental health, so if any of you is feeling or having the signs of any of the 5 parameters, that means you need to look at your mental health. Yeah, you need to look into it, you need to introspect, you need to really not ignore it, but look at it. Because what happens is, let me tell you, all of you, so when there is an initial signal of mental health, which is one of these 5 parameters, it is easier to handle it. It is not so critical to handle it. It is not so difficult to handle it, because it can be handled with the help of a counselor, a psychologist. Sometimes some of the things even a healer can help us in. Yeah. So these are the areas that when their initial signs of it, when there is it's the starting point of it, then these counselors, psychologists, and even a healer, they can help us, because we are feeling negative, we are feeling unhappy, we are feeling anxious, and this is not a very long and sustained problem. We are it is related to something that has triggered in the life, and that is where they can help. But yes, all of you must be thinking that in which scenario do we meet a psychiatrist, and which scenario should we meet a psychologist or a counselor, a hypnotherapist, or a psychotherapist, or a healer. So this is one side of category, and the other side is a psychiatrist who's a trained doctor, or a clinical psychologist who will prescribe a medicine to you. So this second scenario is where the problem has become very chronic. When the problem has become really out of hand of a counselor or a therapist or a psychotherapist, that is where we say that a psychiatrist comes into the picture. But let me tell you, now this is an education that I want to give to all of you, because this is a confusion that comes in, that even when somebody is meeting a psychiatrist and taking medicine for it, it doesn't mean that that person does not require a counselor. These two people always go hand in hand. Any psychiatrist you will go to, they will always have either some counselors on their panel or psychologists on their panel, or they will recommend you to meet somebody, because the problem, if there is a mental health problem. So now let me tell you what are the mental health problems where a psychiatrist is needed for sure. So a psychiatrist is needed for sure if there are bipolar kind of problems, there are OCD kind of disorders, there is schizophrenia, there is a major very very long and chronic depression. Yeah, so these are the kind of situations in which a psychiatrist is needed, and that is why I'm saying that take help early. Do not ignore the signs, the 5 signs that I talked to you about, so that you will not be needing a psychiatrist and would not have to take pills. Because let me help you understand that the moment we are taking pills for a problem, or we are taking medicine, that means the problem is major, and that means that there will be some side effect that it will bring in. So which could be dizziness, always kind of sleepy, not wanting to meet people, there are other side effects that are, and I don't want to, I mean, I'm not a trained doctor, so I don't want to talk about a lot of side effects, but then there are side effects, and it's not a permanent solution. Medicine is only a temporary solution, and that is why taking help from a counselor or therapist is always important or always needed, so that you're able to come out of the problem on a long term basis. Yeah, it is not a short term solution, it's a long term solution. Yeah, so if there are people around you or anybody, this is an education that will help in helping and suggesting people as well, right? Because a lot of times we have relatives and friends who need our suggestion. Yeah, and then a wrong suggestion or a wrong decision can really backfire. Because let me tell you something. Yeah, and thanks Neetu for reminding that we can put in queries, because I'm really want to be like a like you come and do a attend a live of a tarot reader and you ask anything that comes to your mind. I want to be that person today to you. Ask anything which is there. Maybe I would not be able to answer each and every question, but I don't I would try and answer all the queries. So keep pouring in your questions and queries as well. So where I was that I wanted to share with you that mental health, a lot of times there is a wrong decision that really starts impacting it very badly. So there could have been a small problem which could have been sorted out very easily, but because we did not go to the right person, it was not a problem to be dealt with a psychiatrist, but we thought that no, if there is a mental problem, doctor is the only solution. So that is not the case. There is always the first consultation should happen with a psychologist or a psychotherapist or a counselor, because they all have different degrees, but they're all dealing with the same problems. Their way of dealing with problem is different. Yeah, they would be cognitive therapies that a psychologist would be doing. There would be subconscious mind therapies, reprogramming therapies, which a hypnotherapist or would be doing. Psychotherapists also use cognitive mind therapy. So they're using different tools, but they're finding solution, and the solution is the same. Yeah, the solution is to get rid of the problem. The problems can be the similar problems that people will come to them with, like stress and anxiety and depression and all these kind of things. So first consultation should be with the counselor and should be with a psychologist only. Then if they recommend that you must meet a psychiatrist as well, because there is a psychiatric help needed in this case, then one should always go and meet a psychiatrist. So this is the normal path that should be there whenever there is a mental health issue that is being seen anywhere around you, or in your family or with you. Yeah, so this is I think an education, because today is what we're talking about is awareness. The lack of knowledge of this field is actually detrimental for this field, right? So that is one. The second thing that I want to talk to you about is that we have this belief or thought that doctors, we should just go to doctor. And we even sometimes I see parents, if teenagers are having an anxiety or teenagers are having some problem, they immediately want to rush to doctor. I think that is what you should just give it as the second thing. First meet definitely a counselor. So that is about what I wanted to share. Now I'm ready for your queries. If you have questions, please pour in. As I said that I want to actually answer anything that comes to your mind today. As you ask any question to a tarot card reader, straight away put your questions and I will be answering them. In the meantime, let me answer that I said I will talk about what is mental health, what are the parameters of mental health, but I also want to tell you that how can mental health be addressed, how can these issues be addressed. So these issues that we face initially can be very well addressed by your own work that you do with yourself, with the help of a professional. So for example, one of the thing a professional would do if you are stressed would make you understand that how to calm yourself down, how to look at the positive side, how to look at a different perspective of things, right? So they will really ingrain in you that the reason that you are getting stressed are not maybe they are the right reasons, but you need to really learn how to come out of it. So my way of working is I make the person first understand that what is their personality style, and that is how I am able to relate to and align them, that why is this stress coming, right? So it is all scientific, and I try and make them understand, to understand their subconscious mind, to understand their personality, and then they are able to understand the root cause of stress. And obviously then we work on the a therapy or a counseling session through which the stress is taken care of. So that is stress. Anxiety also, when the person thinks that I'm not able to control things, I'm actually losing it, a smallest of things tells them that they are, everything would happen negative and all of that. So that is where we bring in again a kind of acceptance of the situation, not looking at everything from their perspective, not wanting to control everything, so all of this is the work that we do when there is an anxiety. So all of this kind of work is what is more a permanent work. In fact, one thing that I like to add here is that my work has one thing for sure, that I try, and by the end of the journey that they're taking with me, the mental health awareness journey and the counseling journey, I actually want to leave the person with actually acquiring the skill that now if any challenge that comes in their life, they will be able to handle it on their own. I think if this is one thing that if I can train a person in, or make them learn or teach them, they will never be able to, they will be, most of the challenges that they face in life, they will be able to handle it on their own. In fact, what I call it is life skill. I think we all need to learn life skills, that how to accept our own self. Yeah, the issue is that we do not accept our own self. The issue is that we want to control everything. Yeah, the issue is that we do not accept others, that the way they are, and we are always wanting to change somebody. We always have different level of expectations from people. So at the end of the journey that anybody takes with me, one thing that I ensure, that they learn how to handle their own anxiety, their own problems, and they learn what to do when next time they face a challenge or they come across stress, right? Because challenges and problems will come in life, nobody can stop them, but if we can get equipped to handle that, right? So for example, you don't know cooking and you have to stay alone, so you will learn cooking, right? So if we can learn smallest of skills, why can't we learn life skills, which is one of the most important skill that we need to know? And if as mothers, as parents, we will learn that, won't we teach that to our children as well? Yeah, this is the most primary skill that we need to teach our children as well, right? So if you are talking about as a parent, I think that is one of the, we might give them everything else, but if we are not giving them life skill, then that also is a problem. Yeah, so learn your own life skills and give it to your children as well. Now there's a question that is coming in, ma'am, whom should we consult for someone who is overthinking, really need your guidance? Overthinking is completely a counseling, somebody who is a counselor or a even a psychologist. I think it's just a different degree. So a psychologist is somebody who's has a degree in psychology. A counselor doesn't have the degree, but they have the tools and the other certifications, or maybe they are a psychotherapist to be able to use that. And also as a counselor can be a hypnotherapist as well. So overthinking is really what can be dealt with help of a counselor, and you don't really need a psychiatrist. Again, when you would need the counselor, they will assess the person, they will assess the degree of the problem, and in case they feel that the person, the degree is very high or it is out of control, then they might recommend the psychiatrist as well. So have that faith on the counselor or the psychologist that you are meeting. Yeah, so that is what I hope I have been able to answer your question, Preeti, and looking for more questions, guys. And we have some very amazing people. Okay, so we have Rashmi who's joined us, Reni Sharma who's joined the live, Hina is watching, great. I've just answered Preeti's question. Manjusha, Mohit, Deepshika, Deepa, I don't know if they're still there. Alka, great to see you. Please ask your questions. I'm sure that you have questions about mental health. So Neetu has a question. It's an anonymous question from past 6 months. My relation with my husband has completely changed. So many fights, things out of control, many times feel like quitting is not the first solution for anything. I work with people in relationship and marriage counseling as well. The only time that I maybe recommend quitting, or when I feel that there is no intention of the person to work on the relationship, and that is the only time. Otherwise, quitting is not a solution. You will create a lot of emotional baggage for yourself. You will create a lot of stress and bitterness, if you will do that. First thing should always be that look at how you can work on the relationship, because relationship it's a very interesting thing. It looks very complex, but it has very simple fundamentals, like accepting a person. We do not accept our husband or spouse, and we are always wanting to change them, always wanting them to behave in a certain fashion, always looking at ourselves from their eyes. Do they accept me? Do they appreciate me? Have they done this or not? Lot of expectation. Marriage is one relationship which actually has a lot of expectation, and that is why the problem is. I want to just tell you something. Why does a friendship become so simple and looks very nice and goes so smooth? Because friendship is something which does not have expectations. Yeah, so I am not saying that don't have expectation in marriage, but how do you manage it? How do you keep it to a certain level where both husband and wife get the space and get the happiness that they're looking for? And that is where I think that you quitting is definitely not. You should look at working on it for sure. Yeah. Okay, so there's another question from Sheetal. Hi, feel very low and stressed most of the times and feel like crying. So this is one of the signs that I said as a parameter. You need to introspect, Sheetal. Why is this crying happening? Where is this sadness coming from? What is that thought that okay, this is not what is happening in my life, I wish this would have been there? ऐसा क्यों नहीं? कुछ तो है जो आपके कभी कभी वो एक इस इवेंट का से भी होता है कि अभी जो आपका एनवायरनमेंट है, कभी कभी वो आपकी दिस पर्टिकुलर प्रॉब्लम कैन बी कमिंग फ्रॉम द चाइल्डहुड एंड फ्रॉम सम पास्ट एक्सपीरियंस एज वेल. सो व्हेन you would talk and you would actually express, then the person who's a professional will be able to help you how to get rid of that emotional baggage that you are carrying. Yeah, so you need to introspect and understand what is the root cause of it. It is definitely a sign that you should take help on this one. Yeah, because this is not normal. If there is too much of crying and too much of sadness, mood swings as well. Yes, of course, if you are not happy, see, unhappiness is something that should not be ignored at all. Unhappiness is the cause of the mood swings, fights, not wanting to meet people. Then it starts impacting the professional work as well. You don't feel like working. Yeah, you don't feel like giving your best. You don't feel like that I'm accepted. So a lot of issues start cropping up from this small thing that you are talking about. It just can become bigger and bigger as well. Okay, so yes, thank you, Neetu. I mean, you can post your question to Neetu, and it can be an anonymous question that we can take in. Okay, so who else? Let me ask that and I want to ask you, why do you think people have this fear of meeting a mental health professional, or why do you think people do not talk about this problem or approach people? Can you share with me? We are 8 people here on the live. I'm sure you can share that. Why does this happen? I want to understand. Maybe is there some way that we as mental health professionals can help in this area? Because believe you me, guys, when I meet my clients, when I meet people I feel a lot of unhappiness, and I feel that they're suffering a lot just because they did not take help, just because they did not open up, just because they made the situation so complex. A person who can be so happy, or something so workable and doable, even that is not what they are able to do. So let me know, put in here as why do you think people do not approach or do not want to talk about their mental health issues, or don't want to be open about it. Yeah. And I'm not saying that they have to be really sharing it with the entire public, but really taking or seeking help or talking about it with someone. Yeah. So if this is I'm not maybe have not got any answers so far, but then I want to say to you that I actually want to leave you with this strong thought, and this is what it came to my mind while I was thinking one day. See, we have so many organs in our body, and the most complex organ in our body is our mind. It's the most complex. Yeah. And if it is okay, so there is an answer that is coming in. Rashmi, thanks for answering. Most of the times people aren't aware and accepting enough of the situation. Yes, absolutely. And they feel that they can tide over by themselves, or other times, and social conditioning. Absolutely. I understand. So this is where we have to be accepting, and we have to really accept that it's okay. And I'll tell you what is the thought that will make you accept it, or us. So today, you are hearing me. I'm sure if I share this live, I will be able to give this message to many more people. And thanks for joining in, Chitra. Chitra has just joined in. So I'll tell you what. So our mind is the most complex organ of the body, and it is an organ. If it is a most complex, then obviously it needs, if there is something goes wrong there, then it needs the right help. Another thing that I want to tell you is that each and every part of our body has a defense mechanism. Let's say if there is somebody who will try to throw water on you, your eyes will automatically get shut. Your hand will try to stop that, if they're throwing something on you. You have a defense mechanism. The entire body, skin, organs, eyes, face, everything has a defense mechanism. But mind does not have a defense mechanism, because mind is wired to be open to listen to information, process the information. So whatever is happening in our environment, we don't have a defense mechanism that we can shut it, right? If there is a fight that is happening at home, children will get impacted because there is no defense mechanism over there. And this is also for a positive reason, because if there would have been a defense mechanism, we would not been able to learn. We would not been able to be so open and towards learning, towards new ideas and all of that. But there is a flip side of it, is that the mind is taking positive information also and negative as well. Yeah. So please understand, this is one reason, because there is no defense mechanism that naturally our mind has, that it needs more help. And the second reason the mind cannot be ignored is because everything that is connected in the body is connected to mind. All the nerves, all the central control system is in the mind. So if mind goes haywire, and if it is disturbed, it will disturb the entire body system. Yeah. So that is why I feel that there is no way. You want to keep it confidential, you don't want people to know about your problem, that's okay. Your counselor, your psychologist, whoever you are meeting is a very, very safe person, because they have to keep confidentiality. That is their clause, and they will understand. And for them, it is not, then they are dealing with many people like you. So don't worry, whatever your problem might be, it is normal for a person who's a professional of mental health. So do not shy away from talking about it, even if it is the smallest of problem. Yeah, because small problems become big later. That is what you have to remember. Okay, thank you, Chitra. And now there's a question: Why people are still not open talking about crucial issues in current situation? Guys, don't do that. Of course, thank you so much for sharing that, Neetu. That is exactly why we are doing that, and believe you me, there is situation is changing for sure. People are opening up for sure. I am seeing a lot of change in the way we think about mental health, in the way we talk about mental health, in the way we have the acceptance of mental health. Believe you me, there is a lot of change, and very positive change that I am seeing. But yes, as each and every individual, we have to also become more accepting to others, because that is how this consciousness would move up. The consciousness that has now started coming in, but the consciousnness would be much more about the acceptance for it. If we all accept others, just try and start accepting that this is perfectly normal. In fact, lots of times when I talk to my clients, I give them my own example, that it is not that I am only preaching or I am telling that do it like that, do it like this. There are lot of things, in fact, in each area that I am talking to you about, somewhere I have been a person who has gone through it. I have taken professional help. I have taken help of friends. By the way, I always say that friends must have one friend who you can talk without any judgment, without any fear, right? Because the professional comes secondary. The first person who has to be there, who can listen to you, who can be there for you, is a friend. So please open up with, even if it's not many friends, but one person should definitely be there. Chitra is saying anyone can share or ask questions, she will be keeping secrets. Yeah, of course, that is, I think that is the best thing that a professional can do, is to give that comfort to the other person, that the professional is not judging you at all. Because we know what could be the kind of problems that can be happening, and as I shared with you that one of the things, I have right from the beginning of my profession, I was not into mental health. I was into training only. I was into behavioral trainings. I'm a life coach as well. But this movement of my own inner self, and getting evolved as a person, getting evolved as a wife, as a mother, that is what has helped me in really understanding why mental health is so important today. Yeah. And we all deserve, once I did a creative and I said that each one of us deserves to be happy, and I really believe in it. Some people might say that saying is very easy, but I believe you me that each one of us can be happy, deserves to be happy, and just have to work. We've just made things complex. If we work upon it, the happiness is just right there in front of us. Yeah. So with that, I think I have talked a lot about what I had to talk today. If there are any questions, I really thought that there would be a lot of questions which I'll answer. I love answering the questions about mental health, and but then I'm always available to this community, to all the people who are watching, and all the people who watch this video later as well. Please do feel free to ask your questions, and you can post your questions to me on Messenger. Don't worry. I would answer your questions absolutely free of cost. Just post a question on go on my profile, post a question on Messenger, and I will answer that on Messenger, or in case it would be needed, I will find time and call you back, because I think that is the first level of in the sense acceptance that I can give to you as a mental health professional, that I understand your question and I try to answer that. So that is the first level or first offering that I can do, is to help you with that question and advise you what I can, right? Great. So Neetu, I'm getting very strict with my child. Even I hit him many times and I feel guilty too and cry. So thank you so much for this question. Let's do this, that I want to answer. So basically there is I see that if you're becoming very strict, somewhere there is this anxiety or insecurity in you that things will not go right with her. I don't want things to go wrong to her. I don't want her life to be a failure. So sometimes because of this anxiety and insecurity, because of things that have happened in our own life, we try and become too cautious and too too diligent with our children. So please, always, whenever there is a behavior that you're doing, look into the root cause. So maybe you're becoming too perfectionist and you're unhappy because of something, or you are you getting jittery that there should be everything in her life should go fine. Remember, each and every child has their own journey and their personality style is different. How can you can just try and understand them and give them, be the medium for them. By being strict, in any case things don't work out. You have to really, today, even if your child is 5 years old, you have to still treat them as an adult, still talk to them as they are intelligent adults, and be a consultative parent instead of a directive or a dictatorial parent. So if you want have some more question, I can answer you, because I might have to understand your own personality style. Seems like that you are also a perfectionist personality style, because this is the kind of style that we have, and we then we tend to be very strict and very disciplinarian. Yeah, so try and understand where is this coming from in you, to be able to get the answer. And this is not a solution. Being strict and very, very controlling is never a solution for children. Yeah, they might become fine for some time, but they will revolt and they will rebel, and they will come out too strong if you keep doing that. Yeah, so thank you so much, everyone. I really love talking to you, especially coming on the Wandering Mind's Facebook page. It's my favorite, and I love talking to this community. The community has been very accepting and very encouraging to me as well. And for anybody from this community, I'm always available to answer your questions. As a professional, if I can do that much, that would give me happiness as well. So thank you so much, and all the very best. Let's increase the awareness of mental health together, everyone, because only us professionals, we can't do it. Each one of you, if you start accepting others the way they are, this consciousness and this taboo will definitely break. One day we will be in a situation like West is, like America is, that people are very open, and they say that the way they have a physician or a doctor, physical health doctor, a physician, so they have a physician like that. Each and every person should have their own life coach or counselor who they can reach out anytime. Because as physical health is important, similarly mental health is also equally, or maybe a little more important as for me. Yeah, so thank you so much. And Sushma, I'll answer your question in the chat box, right? I will surely take up that question, but now I want to sign off, and thank you so much for being here. Love you all. Thank you.